Who does that in the middle of the game? He said, I'm gonna let you get one step from me, I'm gonna shoot it right in your face. So of course, I get one step from him. He shoots it, it goes all net. He said, see, you did all that running for nothing. Only Larry Bird could do that. Now, Michael Jordan, 1991 finals. He takes off with his right hand, tongue out. And we all jumped, so we said, we got him, we got him. Well, he waited in air as we all went down. He looked at it. He switched the ball to his left hand. Remember this? Tongue went to the left side. Spun it against the glass and good. What human being can hang in the air that long? And the last person, the hardest person I had to guard, well, it was two, was my daughter. My wife kept saying, play your daughter one-on-one. She was playing high school basketball. I didn't want to play my daughter one-on-one. I know who I am. Remember self-evaluation, right? No, you gotta play her. You'll make her better. I don't want to play my daughter one-on-one. So finally I said, okay, I'm gonna play my daughter one-on-one. We go to 10. I let her get to 9, and that was hard for me to do. So then I crushed her after that. I beat her 10-9. If my mom was right here right now, I would let her get to 9.5. I really would. That would be hard for me. And then I would crush her too. Why? Because I'm about winning. I'm a competitive person, and I don't want to lose at anything, okay? So you got the answer? If you're not first, yeah, you know, I came in last a couple times in terms of losing those championships to Larry and Michael and so on. And then last but not least, the greatest team I've ever played on is the Dream Team. So we should clap for that because the Dream Team is on the road. Now, I got to figure out how to get back up on stage. Use the spear jump? Oh, them days are over with. I used to be able to do that.
You should be able to get on the stage from there. While he's climbing on the stage, let's have a temporary round of applause for an amazing... I have to say, first of all, you are such a nice guy. How do you stay so nice after all this time?
First of all, I've been blessed from God to be able to do what I do. It's a blessing to be able to bless other people. And there was a lady out there saying that she wants to help people. That's all I want to do. You know, my whole life is really dedicated to helping those who live in the inner cities and in urban America. And I'm going to continue to do that, and that's what it's all about.
Now, I want to go back to that lovely lady's question, because she was facing that challenge that so many of us face, which is when people say, it can't be done. Or, my favorite, if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. Take us back to that time when you left basketball. You knew you wanted to be in business because you'd seen other players losing everything.
That's right.
What did you face at that time?
Well, I think that, Mark, first of all, you're absolutely right. I actually, unfortunately, had the pleasure of learning from other players going broke.
Right.
And so I met with a guy, I called Dr. Buss, who is our owner of the Lakers, and I said, will you give me all the season ticket holders around the basketball court? I cold called every one of them, and most of them were CEOs of companies. Matter of fact, Peter Gruber, who I talked about, he was one of them, and now we're in business. Like I said, we own 6 companies together. And I took them to lunch, and I asked them if they would mentor me, because my journey will take me from the basketball court to the business room, and I wanted them to help me and give me nuggets so I can prepare myself for when I was retired, I could move on into the business world. Now, and sure enough, they did that.
I'm going to pause you for a second, because you told us we've got to have a strategy. When you were making those cold calls to those CEOs, they're going to take your call, obviously, but did you have a plan?
I had a plan, just to get knowledge.
Right.
And then the one guy that really turned my life around was Michael Ovitz. And
he's that big-time agent in California.
That's right. He was the #1 agent representing actors and entertainers and directors and writers. So he started CAA. So I went to him, and he kept me waiting for like 3 or 4 hours.
In the office?
In the office, in the lobby. And finally I got into his office, and he said, "Why should I represent you? Most of you athletes spend more money than you make. You don't care about, saving money, investing money." I said, "Well, I'm different, and I really want to be a businessman after I'm done. I'll think about representing you. Get out." I went in 6'9", but I came out about 5'9", right? And a month later, he called me back and said, "Hey, I did my homework and research on you. Everybody told me you're really serious about becoming a businessman. Come back." So I came back in, and he said, "What part of the newspaper do you read first?" I said, "Well, of course, the sports section." He said, "Wrong answer. If you want to be a businessman, you got to read the business section." So he gave me 10 magazines and papers to read, and if I came back and he ran a test on me, if I read them, I passed the test, he would represent me, and I did, and the rest is history.
You must have got the feeling at that time, this guy is taking me under his wing.
Yes.
He is going to help.
Yeah.
A lot of the people in the room, we all face the same challenge. We have ideas, we have concepts we want to share with our top teams. We want to get a seat at the board table with the C-suite.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that meeting with Howard Schultz. You're going into the guy who's created the most phenomenal business success. How did you go in with a plan that he would listen to? Because his first thought was franchise.
That's right.
He wasn't going to play that game.
Exactly. Mark, you're absolutely right. But what I told him, the growth of your business has to be through urban America. And when I showed him the numbers of that $1 trillion spending power, and that, he has an opportunity to really jump in first before anybody else. And we have people who want to work that live in urban America, that we can train them the Starbucks way. And so this what happened. He came down to see how I managed my theaters. He came down on a Friday night, I'll never forget this. And Whitney Houston was starring in her first movie, Waiting to Exhale. And I had 5,000 African American women wrapped around the corner to come see this movie. And so Howard comes around the corner and says, "Wow, man, they all coming into your theater?" I mean, it was just packed with women. And I said, "Yes, it's sold out. Every show is sold out with Whitney Houston." So about 10 minutes later, we go into my biggest theater, about 550 seats. And I tried to tell him that minorities, we go to movies a little different than everybody else. But it was too late. We're in there, we're watching the movies, about 20 minutes in, every woman in there started talking to the screen like they knew Whitney Houston would talk back to them. "Girl, why you still with him? I don't know. If I was you, I'd dump him." And Howard pulled me out of the theater and said, "Man, I never had a movie-going experience quite like this. But you know what?" He said, "You got the deal." Because everything that I told him about my community, he got a chance to see for himself.
He saw it, and he knew that you had the touch.
That's right.
How many stores was the first deal?
Well, the first deal was supposed to be 3. We're going to test 3 stores. And if we were #1 in our marketplace, then we could build 122 more. And sure enough, we were #1. We built 122 more. And I was very happy when I exited that.
I bet you were.
And he was very happy because now he's built thousands of stores in urban America.
Based on that. But of course, you just keep moving on. I want to talk sports for a little
Okay.
bit. Let's talk Lakers. It's in your heart. This is
Yeah.
your passion.
Yeah.
But you've still got to win. You've told us you don't like losing.
Right.
You like to win. The Lakers, to my British understanding, even though I'm an American now,
Yeah.
and I live in Boston, so I don't know, anyone from Boston in the room? Look, these people will tell you that...
Thank you for singling out the Celtic fans.
Right, exactly. Because in Boston it's a religion. You either
Yeah.
follow your local teams or
That's
you
right.
have to leave the state.
That's right.
but right now I'm a Lakers fan, just for this.
Okay, just for this 10 minutes. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Lakers have not had an easy time. You're there now. How much pressure do you feel?
Of course I'm under pressure, but a guy like me, I eat pressure for breakfast, right? I understand I'm under pressure, but it doesn't concern me. I have a strategy. We couldn't shoot. We brought in a couple shooters. We were last in defense. We brought in some defensive, more-minded players.
You have to let some people go.
Yes, I brought in 6 new players. We traded some guys, let some guys go. But the one move that I made that was really important was we traded 2 guys. Now, next summer, we'll have room to sign 2 superstars. And that's really, in basketball, one superstar can change everything for you. We got a chance to sign 2, so I think that before I took the job, we were over the salary cap, we had bad contracts. Now we're healthy in terms of the salary cap wise, and we have a direction. We know what we want to do and how we want to do it. And I had to change some employees in the office as well. And now everybody's on the same page. We're going to have a good season. We'll be one of the most exciting teams to watch. I don't think we're going to make the playoff. We're not good enough quite. And we may sneak in, but I don't think we're good enough to make it. But I just want us to get better and grow. Because then if I can slot in those 2 guys next summer, now we're back in the championship hunt.
So it's a 2-year strategy. You understand what the journey is going to be like. Do fans understand?
Oh, yeah.
Their expectations aren't here?
Oh, yeah. Guess what we did this summer for the first time in Summer League history? We sold out the Summer League. 16,000 people came to see a scrimmage.
Wow.
Against the Celtics, right? And then we've been able to sell out all our season tickets. Again, we're sold out. So the fans are excited. They know that it's going to be a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. And I explained that to them. If you explain to fans what you're building, what you're trying to do, they will jump on board. They're just going to hold you to it.
Right.
They're going to hold me accountable, and I want them to. And so that's what it's all about.
Now, you're not coaching, are you?
Oh my goodness, what? Don't bring up that word. Oh my goodness. I would go crazy trying to coach.
But occasionally, do you have to cover your mouth because you want to say something?
Oh, well, Luke Walton is our coach, and I don't try to undermine him, or I don't try to tell him plays to run. But my job is still to oversee everything. So if I see a guy, not being able to go to his right or left, I'm going to tell him that. I got to help the guys improve, because one thing that I do know is basketball. And so I'm going to always tell individuals, hey, you should work on this or you should work on that. But as far as getting involved in the strategy and what plays to run on offense and defense, I don't do that.
Got it. All right, you know basketball, and this leads me to my next question. Let's talk analytics.
Okay.
Because for the years that I've been working with SAS at these events, the conversation often comes to this question. Do we trust what the analytics results show us, the numbers that they share, or do we trust our gut? So in sports, how have you seen the incredible increase in the use of analytics, and how important is that to success?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, again, I just told them we took Lonzo Ball number 2 because of the analytics and because of the eye test. So you have both. And you trust, look, you can trust your gut, but the number's going to help you make the best decision.
Right.
Always remember that.
Everything.
And I built my whole business career on numbers. And I'm going to do the same thing with basketball. Eye test, and then the numbers.
Got it.
And so right now, you take a player like Larry Nance. He averaged 2 blocks and a couple steals a game. I mean, he was one of the most, when you think about deflections and all that, you don't think about him being like this great player, but he is so valuable to our team because he's in the top 4 in those categories, right? per 36 minutes played. So we got to keep Larry Nance on the floor because he makes things happen. And analytics show us that.
Right.
And that's what it's all about. You got to use analytics to really put you in a position to win. It helps our coach build a great strategy, both on offense and on defense when we're playing teams. And now he can put our players in a winning position. And then in the last 2 minutes, it really comes into play because now we know, okay, Brooke Lopez likes to take the three from the left side. So we'll set a play up where, hey, we can get him on that left side because we know that the numbers show us that that's where he really likes to shoot the 3-point, and he's more effective on the left side than on the right side. You know, on and on and on. And so that's what it's all about.
The numbers show it. I remember interviewing Billy Beane several years ago. He really got the whole money ball going, as it were.
That's right, that's right.
Baseball got there first. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that baseball has more strategy within the game.
Right.
And there's a lot of, remember, when you get those 3 outs, you have a lot more time to process numbers and think about what you want to do for the next inning. Basketball, the game is moving so fast, we get few breaks. So now it's harder for us to get that information, get it to the player, because there's only so many timeouts. And so, but we're doing a better job of it. There's technology now that is helping us. I invested in a company called Shot Tracker that's helping us to get that data and information just that fast.
What does it do?
Well, it has eyes in the sky, basically, and you just put something on your tennis shoe, and it can track you real time. You're 3 from 6 from that 3-point line, or you made 2 here, you made 1 on the right side, left side, on and on and on. Real time information and data, and it's going to be very useful. So already Under Armour, Nike, all these companies have bought the technology, and colleges were using it right now. Even some of the pro teams are using it for practice. So it's a great company.
There is not going to be a worthwhile team without an analytics
Oh,
operation.
you can't win without it.
Right. But doesn't that mean that the playing field is once again level? Because who will have the competitive advantage?
Well, it's level, and also too, you have to give first European basketball a lot of credit for what's happening now in American basketball, in the NBA, because we took the Euro League and how they played fast, up and down, shooting threes, and that's the name of the game here in the NBA now. And then one of these men and women gonna be running a team soon, because you know, Andrew Freeman, I mean, the guy we have, you know, running the Dodgers, analytics guy, and more of them are coming, running teams, not working within the team, running the team. And so it's really amazing. So I get ready, I might be hiring somebody to run the Lakers with me.
Form an orderly line. There's one volunteer.
Exactly.
Yes, that guy. And I think David as well. Where was David? He's definitely interested.
Yeah.
From Connecticut. Do you miss it when you're standing on the sidelines and you see all the action? Do you miss the play?
No, I'm through with basketball. I've been through with basketball a long time ago. I moved into my next life, which is business.
Right.
And so, but don't make no mistake about it. I love the playoff. I love the game. I love watching. I was on vacation 2 years ago, not this past year, year before. And so a young man from college, we were in Anguilla, and there was a basketball court. So I guess this young man from New York, he played college basketball there. So he was shooting every day. When I'm on vacation with my wife, I just sit on the lawn chair and be with her.
Nice.
So about the 3rd day, he challenged me. Matthew, you too old, you know.
You're on the lawn chair, right?
Looking at him, I said, well, man, I'm with my wife, young man. You know, when I'm on vacation, I like being with her because I'm busy enough during the year. So the next day, his dad chimed in. He's scared of you. He just don't want to go up against you. So my wife didn't elbow me because she's competitive as I am. She said, go get him. That's all I needed. So we were playing a game around the world. I crushed him 10 straight games.
Love it. How good did that?
And his dad pulled him the last game and quit messing with Magic. You're not good enough, son. I said, okay, so don't get it twisted or wrong. I may not play, but I can still play. Right? And Larry Bird, oh, thank you. Larry Bird was at a event a few years ago, and he hit like 29 out of 30 jump shots.
You don't lose it.
And the net didn't move. and I'm sitting here watching this dude like, are you serious? I mean, you don't lose things like the knowledge of the game or your touch, you know, and so it's just a part of it. Just like these incredible people here would never lose the ability to run numbers and be smart at what they do. They can walk away from it 5 years, but they can come right back and it'll jump right back, you know.
You are a man very familiar with winning, and we love your stories. We feel all the passion and energy, but occasionally, come on, things don't go right. How do you handle those moments when a decision goes against you, when you don't quite get to the numbers you were hoping for? How do you handle a non-win?
Great question, Mark. I think you find out the reason why you didn't win. I'm a guy who wants to know the reason. And so let's go back and find out the reason why we didn't win that contract, we didn't win that game. Was it too many turnovers? Was it the fact that we didn't shoot well enough on offense? Did our defense let us down? Or did I do something wrong as a CEO? On and on and on. So you want to find out the reason why. So the next time that situation arises, that you will now say, okay, I did this last time, I'm not gonna make that mistake again this time. And so I think you learn from your mistakes, or you learn from losing, and most great teams, they do. They learn from losing. And I mean, look at what the Warriors did. They learned from losing to Cleveland the year before, and they came back to beat them this year. New England Patriots, they learned from losing and came back and won the Super Bowl. I mean, you just learn from losing, and sometimes losing can be good. It'll help you get back on your game and get you, make sure you're focused on the goal, which was to win the championship.
I always remember what I was told years ago, which is every no is a step closer to yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, it's a beautiful thing when, I remember when I first got started in business, 10 banks turned me down.
Wow.
Yeah, because I wanted to grow and go to another level, wanted to have scale, but I was using my money in the beginning, and now I wanted to reach those, go to those bigger deals, but I needed the bank's help. And
I'm guessing to an extent your name actually worked against you.
It worked against me. You're absolutely right. And they said, hey, can I have a picture and an autograph, but I'm not gonna give you the loan, right? And so the 11th bank finally said yes. And that's when I took off. And so, no, it was hurtful, but I kept going because I knew I had a solid strategy and game plan.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I stuck to it too.
2 more questions, easy ones. So when you're just relaxing, when you are sitting at home watching TV, which I guess rarely happens,
right,
which sport do you absolutely love to watch, away from NBA?
I'm a big football fan, so I love college football and NFL. So every Saturday and Sunday, I make sure okay, baby, what do you want to do, honey? And what time you want to do it? So I can make sure I get my games in. Okay, she always want to go to the movies. I said, okay, 4 o'clock, whatever time. So I'm watching football before, and then take her and we get dinner, then watch football after. And then on Sunday we go to church, and then I'm watching football all Sunday, all day. So I love football. That's just a passion of mine.
And the art of the game rather than a specific team.
Exactly. No, I love just watching the game. And then last but not least, I love boxing. So I just saw the Canelo Triple G fight. I thought one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. And so I'm a big boxing fan.
Got it. All right. And that leads me to my final question. We've heard an incredible story, but I think we all agree that the story is by no means over. So what comes next for Magic Johnson?
I just launched our infrastructure fund, and so I'm happy about where we are. We just won the Denver airport. We just won LaGuardia Airport as well. So we're excited about rebuilding both airports. We raised about $1.3 billion. We're excited about where we are, and that's going to put a lot of people to work. And they said it's about a $10 trillion problem that we're going to have to rebuild all our infrastructure here over the next 10 to 20 years. So what's next for me is to continue to build the Lakers to a championship organization, then continue to build my business, and just continue to give back and help people in communities of color, and that's it. I'm just so happy because when you think about me owning my own business but also running the Lakers, I have the best 2 jobs in the world. So I'm excited. And I want to thank Sass for allowing me to come here, because it's kind of cool to be sitting with you, brother. And,
thank you.
And also meet all these smart young people too at the same time.
It has been an honor and a delight to have you with us. We are delighted in hearing your story. We can't wait to see what comes next. Ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you to Irving.